Alright, so I'm just going to preface this by saying that originally this was supposed to be done live, but, you know, stream connections weren't that great. So when I tried watching it live, it just kept buffering. Anyhow, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about E3. Yes, that is a thing that happened this year, to say the least. So, I have a lot of feelings regarding each company's presentation. Personally, I think Microsoft did a pretty good job. So did Nintendo. Square Enix was a little eh. Most of the presentation around that one was surrounding Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy game, if I remember correctly. Whereas with Microsoft, there was a whole bunch of huge announcements. I mean, you had Halo Infinite discussed there. I'm not too familiar with Halo, but I've heard of it, at least. Where I'm more familiar with games is like the Nintendo side of things, as well as a few other companies like Atlas, Sega, Ubisoft. Oh, say what you will about Ubisoft. Some of their games are okay, I guess. Though I wouldn't say they're really my cup of tea. Anyhow, I'm just going on a rant. So I'm going to start off by talking about Microsoft's E3. Like I said, they talked about Halo. That was one of the big topics there for sure. Starfield was announced by Bethesda, out November 11th of next year. It looked okay. I'm not really sure if I'd be into that one per se, but we'll have to see how it looks. Halo 5, not a new announcement, but they did show a multiplayer mode, which will be free, filled with vehicles and armor, weapon customizations, according to Guardian. Forza is an interesting one. I have not really gotten into a lot of the racing games personally. The only racing games I really played were Mario Kart and The Crew, which I actually got to participate in the closed beta for The Crew 2, back when that was first announced. It was an okay game, that one. It was a pretty fun racing game, but I felt there wasn't a whole lot to do in that game. And the next big announcement we had was Battlefield 2042, which, my gosh, they, it almost felt like they were going for the Just Cause 4 format in a way. What with all the weather, the severe weather, like the tornadoes, thunderstorms, and whatnot. Environmental damage, that one was pretty cool in my opinion. You could just send a vehicle flying right into a helicopter and it'd cause a huge explosion. That's one that was really intriguing. Lake. I don't recall seeing this one. Woman gives up her high-flying career in the city to become a postal worker in a small rural town. It kind of sounds like a comfy daytime TV movie. Huh. I might be into that one. I'll have to check out the trailer, see if they have info on it. Harold Halibut, that's... Well, it would it seemed there are quite a few games here that I missed somehow. Rainbow Six Extraction, yeah, when was announced. I remember seeing that. Not my cup of tea. I was never really into Rainbow Six Siege. I was more of a Counter-Strike kind of guy, personally. So, you know, Xbox, they had a pretty good presentation. I remember. Oh yeah, they don't mention this in the article I'm reading right now. I was looking for, I was looking for the games that got announced because while I did watch some of the events, I didn't watch the entirety of some of them. I remember, like I said, Square Enix was kind of meh. Most of their presentation was geared towards the new Marvel game, like I said. Ubisoft's presentation was okay. The only announcement I was really excited for from that was the Mario plus Rabbids game, which is basically Mario XCOM. Yeah, that was a really good announcement in my opinion. Freaking Rabbid Rosalina there. Another good announcement from Xbox was the Sea of Thieves update, which actually launched June 22nd. I'm recording this June 26th. I am way behind on all the E3 stuff. So, it's been a few weeks. I'm just trying to gather all the stuff I remember. But, anyhow, Sea of Thieves update. Jack Sparrow is in Sea of Thieves, but haven't heard who the voice actor was going to be. People have speculated Jack Sparrow. Yes, Jack Sparrow will voice Jack Sparrow. Wonderful. No, people have speculated that it's Johnny Depp. People have speculated that it was the voice actor for Jack Sparrow from Kingdom Hearts 3, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to see... Jared Butler. So... I don't know how to feel about that. On one hand, I'm happy Jack Sparrow is in Sea of Thieves. But at the same time, I really feel like they should have had Johnny Depp voice the character. But knowing Disney and Hollywood and all that, it's apparently it's fun to ruin someone's career over claims made by a backstabbing liar. Little ticked off about that, Disney. Anyhow. Nintendo. They announced a new WarioWare game, Get Together. I've played a few of the WarioWare games. Some of them are weird, some of them are fun. I'm surprised they didn't talk more about Splatoon 3, considering that was announced a few months ago. But if they're aiming for release day of 2022, I suppose that makes sense. They did say they were going to focus more on games releasing this year. They talked about Mario Golf, which actually released yesterday. I picked up a copy. It's quite a fun game. For golf, that is. My history with Mario Golf was only on the GameCube. I played Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. And while that one was okay, in my opinion, it had the power shots, if I remember correctly, where if you hit the shot perfectly and you hit the mirror, you get a special effect applied to the golf ball. I remember with Mario, if you hit the golf ball perfectly, it would create a fireball effect around the golf ball. So, I haven't seen much of the golf games since that. That's the only one I've played up until just recently. What I like about Mario Golf, Super Rush, was it? Yeah, Super Rush. What I like about this is the story mode and speed golf. All I'm going to say about speed golf is, well, you hit the golf ball, you chase after it. And try to sink the golf ball first, if I remember correctly. So yeah, no, I played that for a bit. It was quite the fun game. Moving on to more bigger announcements. Metroid Dread. Yes! Okay. So, my history of Metroid. First game I ever played was Metroid Prime. Didn't do too well with that one, personally. I remember when I first played it, I got to the point with the Metroids where they escaped containment. And it is slightly spoilerish, but, well, I say spoilerish, but the game's how old now? So, Metroid escapes containment, but the way they did it was they made it so that the Metroid wouldn't escape containment until after you've explored the room for a bit, if I remember correctly. And then you had to try and defeat the Metroid. So, yeah, no, that one wasn't quite the enjoyable experience. But then I played Super Metroid, and I actually finished that one live on stream one time. This was maybe back when I was doing more frequent recordings and streams. So, yeah, no, I really quite enjoyed that one. It was a really enjoyable game to finish. Although I did encounter some glitches when I played the Virtual Console version on Wii U. I don't know if those glitches are present in Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, but I do know that they were present in the Wii U Virtual Console version. So, Metroid Dread, first 2D adventure for Samus, apparently for well over 15 years now. Apparently it had been planned since Metroid Prime, after Metroid Fusion, I believe it was. There was articles in Nintendo Power, supposedly, that discussed Metroid Dread. I didn't know, I only just found out about this recently, so while I have not been entirely familiar with the Metroid franchise, I will say that for Metroid fans, I am extremely happy for y'all. This is great news. Hopefully the game is really fun. Hopefully the game's going to be enjoyable. I remember they showed in the events, the game pits you against invulnerable enemy robots that can only be beaten with stealth and strategy and new tech. And the interesting thing about that is it actually uses like a stamina gauge, or an ion gauge, I believe it was called. And then we got what's coming up in July, Skyward Sword HD. Oh boy, I am looking forward to that one. I have played Skyward Sword, the original game. Curious to see how it will play out on the Switch. I remember they did mention button controls. I'm a little uncertain about how that will work on Pro Controller, but I do remember when they were showing with the Joy-Con, you use the thumbstick, or I believe it's the right analog stick, for sword slices. So, interesting choice there, I'd say. Although then again, I guess you didn't really have camera movement outside of pressing certain buttons. Like, if you press Z, you could get the camera focus behind you. If you pressed C, you would get free aim, basically. So I'm guessing, like, ZL would be auto-target, and L would be the dowsing, maybe. We'll have to see how it turns out in a few weeks. But we also got the new trailer for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And oh boy, it was quite the teaser. You got floating sky islands, a larger version of the Hyrule landscape, new powers including flame-throwing gloves? I do not recall seeing this one, but I recall seeing they had an ability that people have compared to that one line from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Zawarudo. I probably butchered that pronunciation. Huh?
100% butchered that.
Yeah, no, I definitely butchered that. There's also one where it turns Link into like a drop of water or something. Sends him up to different platforms. It's interesting. I'll have to see more of the game to make a better judgment of it, but so far it's looking pretty dang good. PC Games Showcase is kind of meh, but I will for sure be looking into more of the announcements a little more in depth later on today. Well, maybe not today. As I get the chance to look at them, I don't know, honestly. Widow, that's interesting iOS game. Though I'm not really focused on iOS. I've always been more of an Android kind of guy for phones, but eh. Yeah, no, I'm not really sure what else I can talk about, really. It's E3. E3 happened. Wish they would have provided some demos for... Well, I guess they did with that Steam Next Fest thing. They did provide demos for PC at least, but it would have been nice to see demos, like playable demos that you could download for some of, like, say, Nintendo's games, for example, or Xboxes, but... yeah. We got more info about the games at least. That's always nice to see. So, yeesh, I am really awkward when it comes to talking about this stuff. I guess, that being said, there's not really a lot of announcements that excited me personally during E3. It was mostly just the Nintendo stuff. Would have been nice to see more announcements from Gabe Newell, but I don't know. Well, this has been Mustachio Yoshi signing out. Have a good one. Peace.